I've come to the beautiful Cheyney's Manor in Buckinghamshire, home to Elizabeth MacLeod Matthews and her family, who together have created these award-winning gardens. Elizabeth, what an amazing house. Tell me its history.
Well, the very earliest part dates back to 1180.
And the chimneys are amazing
yes,
as well,
they're
aren't
fantastic, aren't they?
I gather some rather interesting people have actually stayed here.
Elizabeth I as a baby, and then she came on about 6 other visits. And Henry VIII was here with Catherine Howard.
Oh, really?
Yes, lots of famous people.
And when did your family move in?
We came in the 50s.
And was there a lot to do?
A terrible lot to do, and there still is.
Elizabeth, I love the way you've divided the garden into compartments.
Yes, I didn't have a very large area to play with, so I wanted to divide it up so I could do some more intensive gardening.
And this area is called what?
The sunken garden.
Now, it's not just a garden for the spring, is it?
No, I do a lot of dahlias, and I start them off and plant them in June, and they go on wonderfully till the end of October.
And this garden has been widely written about and publicised, but you've had the ultimate accolade, haven't you?
What, the Historic House Association Award?
For
yes,
Garden of the Year.
I was very proud of that.
Well, it's the ultimate accolade, isn't it? So congratulations, and well deserved.
Thank you.
Now, this garden's got slightly different character to it.
Well, it's my topiary garden with all the topiary birds, as well as a white garden, which is the contrast between the little sunken garden we saw earlier. I wanted something that was really cool and different, lovely at night.
Everywhere I look in this garden, there's a different vista, different enjoyment, because looking through the statue there at the house, it's wonderful, the sculpture. Do you know, I've visited lots of gardens for QVC, and I must say this is the most charming I've ever been to. So, Elizabeth, thank you so much for showing us around.
Well, thank you for coming.
If you're looking for new planting schemes and some great design ideas for your own garden, then make sure you join us for our Gardening Inspiration series.
This month, I've come to the simply stunning Cheyney's Manor in Buckinghamshire to learn about the enchanting history of its Tudor manor house and its simply beautiful, award-winning gardens.
So join us for Gardening Inspirations, here on QVC.
Make it ooze with the unthinkable. Don't stop till you come first. Life too unpredictable. Take control of what you're worth. Wasting time's forgivable, but nobody wants to grow old.
For the love of all things beauty, QVC is your destination this June. For the ultimate in skincare, nails and makeup, unleash the beauty lover in you. Love Beauty starts Saturday and continues in selected hours throughout June.
Swinging at the Speakeasy, the album.
It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing.
Let's do it. Let's fall in love.
62 timeless songs from the golden era of jazz and razzmatazz.
Spring cleaning, getting ready for love. Jeepers, creepers.
Swing your way back to the real sound of the roaring 20s and 30s with Swinging at the Speakeasy, the album.
I've been lucky enough to go to every single Chelsea for the past 35 years, and it's one of the highlights of my gardening season. Now, I've got lots of really happy memories, but one in particular is from the very first time when I worked there. On the last day of Chelsea, most of the stands sell off their plants, and it's an extraordinary spectacle. I was working on the Hillier stand, and a lady came up to me, a nun, really petite, about 5 foot high, and she said, "I would like that plant over there." And I looked, and it was an enormous rhododendron, double her size. I said, "Well, of course you can have it, but it's big, and it's got an enormous root ball, about twice the size of a bag of cement and twice as heavy." And she said, "No problem, I'll be back." And she was, with a pram. And we had to carefully load this rhododendron on top of the pram, and off she went, weaving away through the crowds, this enormous rhododendron wobbling on a tiny pram. During the late 80s, I set up Alexander Palace Garden Centre in London, and our landscape team one year was asked to design a garden for Chelsea for the Daily Mirror. And on the day of the royal visit, Her Majesty the Queen walked past, saw it, smiled and said, "It's lovely." Well, that was fantastic for the Daily Mirror, and they insisted on double-page spreads for the next few days, talking about the royal approval given to the garden. But what pleased me just as much was that Robin Lane Fox, the revered garden correspondent for the Financial Times, wrote on the Saturday, "To judge from this year's garden exhibits, the Daily Mirror is Britain's quality newspaper, and the Daily Telegraph is brash trash." And that just goes to show at Chelsea, however much is spent on the garden, from a few thousand to many hundreds of thousands, the judging is always the same. Chelsea is a great leveller. Monday morning, before the show opens, is a really hectic time for the exhibitors, making the final tweaks to their stands. One year, I was working on the knock-cut stand, and we were well behind. Suddenly, to our horror, there was a security announcement. We were asked to evacuate the grounds. Now, this was the time of the IRA bombings, and security was at its highest. Apparently, a sniffer dog had detected the smell of Semtex. We were outside for 2 hours, very anxiously waiting, and suddenly we were allowed back in. Later in the day, I was told what happened. A sniffer dog had detected the threat beneath the Beth Chatto stand. Only it wasn't Semtex, it was a banana sandwich. And that's when they discovered that for sniffer dogs, Semtex smells like bananas. My final highlight has to be our very first QVC gardens, designed by the then unknown Sarah Price. My favourite was the bejewelled garden, planted with jewel-like flowers that enchanted the crowds. Sarah made her name with our gardens and went on to become the lead designer for the hugely admired Olympic Park, as well as one of Britain's top garden designers. Chelsea is the place to be in the gardening world, and I'm delighted that QVC continues to be a part of it.
I'm here in Camberwell to find out all about the Chelsea Fringe, the alternative to the Chelsea Flower Show, which is in its second year. There are all manner of events going on over the next 3 weeks, from art installations to community projects. But I'm here to find out about some toilets that have had a garden makeover. Wow, look at this place. An old damp toilet, the perfect place for a fernery. The designer's really thought about this, and I'm going to go and meet her. Hi, Anna Rose, how are you?
Hello, very well, thank you.
What an amazing secret garden. What was here before?
Nothing much, really. It was rather a wasteland. It became a dumping ground for various people's rubble and stuff over the years.
So what inspired the garden?
The space itself, really. I walked in and saw the arches and the sort of angles, and it all came from that. And then the planting itself, I wanted to soften the hard wood.
Well, you've gone for a very woodlandy sort of natural approach, haven't you?
I have. That's what I always tend to in my design.
So who uses the garden?
Well, as you would have seen, it's in this yard of artist studios. There's all sorts of people that work here. And what the really nice thing now it's finished is they all pop in for cups of tea, they bring their lunch in, and they have a nice little time, you know.
It's a perfect little green oasis then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, because I think it looks fantastic.
Thank you very much.
And I'm feeling a little bit peckish, and I've got a good little tip on where to go next. I've come to the Edible High Road in Chiswick, where there's a wonderful project going on. I'm with Karen Liebrich. You've got lots of stuff going on in the background here. Tell me about that.
Well, we've got launch day workshops. We've got herbal bread, flower arranging, medical herbalists. We've got demonstration beehive, all sorts of things, activities, just to launch this lovely festival.
So this is a beautiful little herb container here. Tell me how this came about. So there's going to be lots of these, aren't there?
Yeah, there's 60 of these herb containers up and down, each one outside a shop that's got involved. And they've involved the whole community. So we've had the nursing home making bees, the schools making butterflies. It may not look like it, but there's been about 50 people working on each one.
Congratulations on it, because it looks excellent. Well, this is one of the things I love about gardening, bringing plants and people together. The Chelsea Fringe is on until June the 9th, so get out and get involved.
QVC presents Stateside Shopping, starring couture-inspired fashion from designer Mark Bauer. Top Cosmetics from Mally, celebrating her 5th anniversary. Classic wardrobe style from George Simonton. Jewelry from RJ Graziano, and a whole lot more. Our Stateside Shopping event starts tonight at midnight and continues all day tomorrow.
We've launched Botanical Essence number 1, we've launched number 15, so it's absolutely incredible for us now to be launching Botanical Essence number 100, which celebrates 100 years of the RHS Chelsea Flower Show.
The fragrance is just so evocative of the show. It makes me think of, walking into the floral pavilion, early in the morning when it's quite quiet, and there's a real fragrance that you can't really describe. It's almost like the biggest florist shop you could ever imagine. The RHS absolutely shares Lizelle's philosophy, her use of botanicals and the sustainability in her thinking.
The great thing about technology these days is that you don't have to understand how it works. I just need to know how I might like to use it and what you might like to use it for as well. I almost take it for granted these days because I use it on the go. I can take a picture of something, send it to my mum. Technology really is something for everybody these days. I've really tried to select things that I think that you'll love just as much as I do, and so hopefully I'm answering all the questions that you might have. So join me for Technology and You, Sunday at 11.
June is really hotting up on QVC. Join us for an entire month dedicated to all things beauty with our sizzling June Beauty Month. Get the lowdown on what's hot across the pond in our Stateside Shopping event. Discover what you're loving right now in our Customer Favourites Day. Say hello to summer with our definitive shopping list for sunnier days. And for the latest trends in jewellery design, QVC is the place to shop this June.
I love it here. I love the Hotel du Cap. It's just such a legendary hotel.
Every woman likes to feel that fantasy, so I'm in the hippopotamus fantasy tonight.
Discover. The gift of love this summer with Diamonique. QVC will be dedicating a whole day to the summer of love with Diamonique jewellery at very special prices for one glittering day. You'll love the sparkle. You'll love the glamour. Diamonique Days, Summer of Love. All day Friday.
Amethyst, found essentially in South America and, of course, Africa. I say, of course, because huge deposits have been found in Namibia, in Zambia. Some of the best amethyst in the world comes from Zambia, for my money. Amethyst shouldn't just be a flat purple. It should have that spark of interest in terms of a hue of violet in there, possibly even undertones of blue. But in my experience, QVC is always selected very carefully to give you a wonderful, rich, imperial purple colour. What do I mean by that? There's a little hint of blue in there. So amethyst. Originally the term came from amathustos, which without drink. It was apparently a stone that you would have to prevent drunkenness in ancient Greece. So the tradition of amethyst goes back a long way.